Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how you can create this cool FUI tech looking animation inside After Effects. So I've built this design using pre-made assets from My Hud Pack that I sell on Gumroad. It's available here, links in the description. If you don't have it, then you're going to have to create or use your own assets that you've made yourself. Let's just go into these quickly to show you what they're like. So let me just reveal them. So in the pack you get 350 different assets. This is just 8 of them. So you get HD professionally designed clips pre-rendered. So we've got these animated tech lines that we're going to be using. So we're going to be using these 3 tech lines. Really cool. And also a couple of other bits of animation and design, like circles. So we're going to be using this circle here. In the pack there's over 50 different separate animated circles that you can use. And we've also got other things like UI widgets and data sets. So in this tutorial we're going to be using this. But in the pack you've got access to, again, over 50 different separate widgets and 350 assets altogether. So yep, let's get on with it and show you how we made it. So I've got a new comp here and I've called it tutorial. I'm just going to press OK. Now I've got some assets already loaded in from my UI asset pack. So let's just show you a design I'm going to make. I'm going to drag in tech frame lines 1. Let's go to 100%. And I'm also going to drag in line 2. And I'm going to make them all screen. And I'm going to duplicate this and drag in lines 3 as well. So let's just play this and see what we've got. So they're quite modular elements, so you can just build one on top of each other. And I'm also going to drag in a frame, press screen, and let's add in some extra stuff here. And if you just set to screen, it creates the black to be invisible. A few more things here. Some random data. Just going to make this smaller. Just place that somewhere here, maybe. Probably here. And I'm also going to drop in a cool circle, which will go in the middle. Press screen, put that there. And a line loop animation, which I'll plop in the middle. And set that to something like this. So this is animation, this is what we've got going on. Let's make this even better. First thing I want to do is give some elements some color, so I'm going to colorize them. And for this look, I'm going to colorize them and I'm going to go with like a blue and orange look. So we just add a tint effect to some of the blue lines, or the lines, make them blue. I'm just going to copy this. That's blue. And this one I'll have orange, more of a reddish orange. And I'll copy that orange and put it on the frame. No, I won't. I'll keep the frame white. The data can be orange, and the color. Okay, and this target scanning can be orange as well. That's looking cool, but I want to add a bit more to it. And I've got some JS placement textures. I'm just going to load in. These are just some extra dots that I'm going to put on the back. It's just a very quick way to add some more detail quickly. Got a classic layer here. And I'm going to place those for this classic layer. Let me just scale this. Yeah, I just want a few random blocks like this one here. I'm gonna mask it. Let's make sure we change these to screen. And I'm gonna grab one of our tints and place them onto here. Some of the dots off, just go with a green color. Maybe this one I'll go with a yellow color, just for something different. And I'm going to duplicate, delete the mask and create a new mask and get another area. Press Ctrl Alt Home and change the anchor point to the middle, and I'm just going to place this at 90 degrees and scale it. And I'm just going to dot a few of these around. Alright, now I'm going to highlight them all and select make them 3D. I'm going to right click, select camera, and make sure depth of field is off this occasion, and add a null object. Make the null object a 3D layer, and we're going to parent our camera to the null object, and we're going to select some isometric values to make make the camera isometric. So it's 45 on the X. For the Y, it's 35.264. And for the Z rotation, it's 30. So let's make sure I do that right. 45. And for the Y, it's 35.264. And for the Z, it's 30. So that gives us the exact look that I want. I want to fill up the space in the edges here. So how do we do that? Well, I'm just going to solo one of these, press CC Reputile, and expand down and expand up. And that fills the whole screen. Let's make sure to fill at the bottom. And I'm going to paste these settings onto the other three. So now it's all complete. So now if I play, this is what animation looks like. So this is what animation looks like now, which is decent, but we can make it look a lot better with a few little simple effects we can add. The first thing I want to do is create a solid. And I'm going to add a solid, and we're just going to call this background. And I'm going to add a 4-color gradient to this. And for the colors, they're going to be a very dark blue black for now. So we're just going to sample them all the same. This one can go right to the bottom. So now we've got a nice bluish green color. But I want some fake light to come from this side here. But I've got some empty space here, so we need to fix that first. And we do that by just expanding to the right, not to the left. So let's fill that out. And again, I'm going to copy these settings for these frames as well. Okay. So for color number 2, I just want it to be a bit more lighter. So it looks like there's some light coming from the top right hand side. Then we increase the jitter so we don't get any banding. Okay, the other things I want to do is just create some glows in certain parts of the lines to create some more organic effects. So I'm just going to duplicate our tech frames and change this to add. I'm now going to add some fractal noise. And let's make our effects up here. And we're going to try and change our transform values to this. And just going to solo this layer. Right, so what have we done wrong here? There we go. We need to bump up the contrast and tweak the brightness down. So what this is doing is creating a map for where my areas of brightness will appear, and we just change this to multiply. So you can see here now you can see some of the lines coming through. So let's increase the contrast. So let's just show you what we're doing. So if you see before and after, certain areas are highlighted, but it's not intense enough, so I need to add a glow to this. So I just need to add a glow. And I'm going to increase the radius, intensity. But I'm not seeing anything there, so let's just hide this. The threshold might need to come down. Yep, there we go. But still, just need to tweak this and find the sweet spot, which is somewhere around here. And I think we might be able to do it with our fractal noise as well. So I'm just, yeah, that's looking a bit better. So yeah, so this is before and after. You can see that there's some glows in certain areas. So I'm gonna copy these two settings, duplicate layer tech frames number 2, and we're gonna do the same. I don't want them showing on the exact same spot, so we can just go into our evolution options and change the seed. These will put the hotspots in a different location. And same again for the orange lines. I'm going to duplicate, paste it here. This one isn't showing as much. So let's see if we can tweak that ourselves. I'm just going to hide this. I think I also need to set this to add. And that one as well. It's not really glowing as much as I want, so maybe I'm going to tweak the color just to be a bit brighter. So this gives us a few more glows here. Okay, now I'm going to add a adjustment layer. And to do that, just right click anywhere here, adjustment layer, and we'll call this our depth of field. And we're going to add a solid again. And we'll call this our blur map. Add a fill and then create a mask, and the areas of white is where it's going to be in focus. You press F and we're going to feather this out. But I think because of the way the angles are going, I'm going to change this and just press Ctrl T and angle it so it's more in line. So I'm actually going to do it manually. So we select our solid and change the marks. Let's go from here to here. So something like that. And we can hide that now. And we'll select camera lens blur. Change our layer to be the blur map. Change the effects and masks. Invert it. And crank up that radius to about 25 maybe, might be a bit better. It's looking cool, but this is not blurred enough, so I'm just gonna tweak the settings here. Cool. And I'm going to also repeat edge pixels. That cleared up the sides here. Okay, that's looking cool, but we can still take it a step further. I think the thing in the middle needs to be another color. So let's add a tint and change this to a orange color, and I'm going to add a glow to this. Solder that, increase the radius, and tweak the threshold. That should do it. And I'm going to paste it on all our other layers, just to give some glow. It's looking a bit too blue, so I'm going to actually just do a hue and saturation on it, so I can control the color a lot easier. Yeah, for me that's looking better. Alright, to this I'm going to add a... We can do levels or curves. Let's go with levels. Just crank up the mids. Give it a bit of a grade. Let's drop the reds. Increase the reds. And I think it's looking a bit too blue, so if I just drop the mids of the blue, make it go to the greens. Probably not that way. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Alright, let me just preview this, see how it looks. I'm just gonna, just before I render, just change the size of our... I'm just gonna solo both of these and see how that looks. So here I think I'm gonna go with a blue circle instead. See how that looks. Yeah, I think also we're going to add a few more, make these dots bigger. Getting lost a little, and I'm going to duplicate them one more time and go with a nice bright blue. Just rotate it 180. And scale up a little. And then also select a keyframe and push in So play this back, see how it looks. Yeah, so this is what it looks like now. Not bad. Looks pretty decent. You know, this is only a few elements from my pack. This is the pack here. It's available on Gumroad. The link's in the description. It's $35. But because I'm feeling generous this moment, I'll leave a link in the description for a discount code that will give you 10% off. Because, you know, if you've watched this video this far, there's loads of different elements that you can get from there. There's a link in the description. You'll have a trailer for it as well somewhere. I don't want this video to be an advert for the pack, but it's a great way of supporting me and the channel. If you've liked the video, if you've learned something, please like it and subscribe. I'm going to try and do a video once a week. So yeah, thank you, and see you next time.